Good morning, everyone. 7:30 here on The Plus. Breaking news, a man fighting for his life after his car is T-boned by a train. We'll go live to the tracks in Bellevue where it happened.
And the truck stop killer back in court today, accused of yet another murder. The latest as convicted serial killer Bruce Mendenhall prepares to face a mid-state judge.
Also, a teenager recovering after a robbery ends in gunfire, where it happened and how you can help investigators.
Now with breaking news. This is News Channel 5 this morning.
Breaking news right now, a suspect is in custody, accused of sexually assaulting housekeepers at the inn at Opryland. This apparently happened on two separate occasions involving the same suspect, Anthony Patton. He was just arrested for the attacks last year. Police say he entered the rooms the housekeepers were in and sexually assaulted them. Patton is facing sexual battery charges this morning.
And more breaking news now. A man is in serious condition after his car is T-boned by a train overnight out in the Bellevue area. Look at that mangled mess. That's all that's left. News Channel 5's Dan Kennedy has been on this story all morning long. And Dan, this guy lucky to be alive, it sounds like.
He is. This train slammed full speed into his car. Thankfully, it was the passenger side. Of course, he was the lone person in the car in the driver's seat, and he is expected to be okay. I just got some surveillance video that captures the entire incident that was taken across the street at Eddie's gas station. Go ahead and check it out. This shows that just before 2 o'clock this morning, this car was coming across McCrory Lane trying to hop onto Highway 70, and that's when this train came barely through, T-boned this car, and then pushed it an extra 300 to 400 yards down the track. That's a length of about 3 or 4 football fields and about a quarter of a mile before the train could finally stop. All that caught on surveillance. This is what the scene looked like a little earlier this morning. Again, a close look at that car. Just remarkable. This man is expected to survive. He had serious injuries when he was taken to the hospital. Police say it appears he was just trying to cross the tracks and did not stop for that train. He is in his early 20s, but his name has not yet been released. Back out here live this morning, this is what the intersection looks like. There is no crossing arm, but there are those flashing red lights, and you saw in that surveillance they were going, and there's also a loud bell that rings at this intersection when a train crosses. If you want to take another look at that surveillance video, I've posted it on my Facebook and Twitter page, NC5 Dan Kennedy. Reporting live this morning in Bellevue, Dan Kennedy, News Channel 5.
That was unbelievable new video. Thank you, Dan. Happening today, a convicted serial killer will be back in front of a judge. Bruce Mendenhall is serving a life sentence already. The so-called truck stop killer is linked to half a dozen murders across the Southeast. Mendenhall will be in Wilson County courtroom later this morning for a hearing in the 2007 murder of Samantha Winters. His trial is expected to begin later this week, and make sure you stick with News Channel 5 for the latest updates.
Rebecca, happening right now, Metro Police investigating a robbery turned shooting. We're told that a teenager was shot on Fairview Drive while he was walking yesterday. The victim telling police that somebody dressed all in black tried to rob him and then shot him. The 19-year-old victim should be all right. If you know anything about this, call Crime Stopper 615-74-CRIME. And a gunman on the run after a shooting outside of an apartment complex. Police say it happened yesterday morning at the Rolling Hills Apartments. We're told that a gunman dressed in white, in this case, demanded two men hand over their belongings. One victim handed over his phone. The other one did not give him anything. Investigators say the robber then opened fire, grazing one victim in the cheek. He ran off and has not yet been caught.
And Steve, we've talked about the criminal case against Tad Cummins already this morning, but now we'd like to update you on how Elizabeth Thomas is doing. The 15-year-old is safely back at home with her family.
We have mental health people that are engaged actively in this case that are going to be working with her for her best interest. We're following their recommendations completely, and so we're waiting on further instructions from them. They'll be secluded today, probably be secluded for the next several days. She definitely will be secluded for a long time now.
That was the Thomas's family attorney speaking in Columbia over the weekend. Elizabeth was brought home by the TBI Friday. The man who took her, her former teacher Tad Cummins, is in jail in California where they were finally found. He'll be in court later this morning in Sacramento.
Happening right now, parts of the mid-state still dealing with flooding this morning. Several people were rescued over the weekend from the high water in Columbia. Crews rescued a woman who was sitting on top of her car after water swept it several hundred yards. By the time crews found the woman near Gillespie Lane Saturday night, she was suffering from hypothermia. Her daughter was able to safely make it to higher ground before first responders arrived. A teenager on a bicycle had to be rescued in Lebanon after water swept him away. The police department posted photos of the rescue on their Facebook page. Saturday, the 16-year-old clung to a light pole on South Cumberland until rescuers finally were able to get to him. And also in Sumner County, the storm knocked a tree onto a house, trapping a man in his own bed. Smoky Bar News reports it happened at a home on Winding Way, that's in White House. The victim expected to be all right. The house has some serious damage. A GoFundMe account has been set up for that family, and we posted that on NewsChannel5.com if you would like to help out.
Flooding also causing some problems for soccer players in Bellevue. Oh no, this is what the Harpeth Youth Soccer Association fields looked like just yesterday. Wow, that is a lake. We caught up with some players and their moms who stopped by to take a look.
All of the weekend games got canceled, and so their training session today got moved indoors, and then they're supposed to train here tomorrow, so good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck with that. Maybe swim practice along with soccer practice there. Portions of the Harpeth River are swollen over the banks. People are being urged to stay out of those floodwaters in the area, especially because there's a chance that water contains raw sewage.
Ooh.